So Goku versus Moro has finally kicked off with chapter 59 of Dragon Ball Super. Goku being able to activate the Ultra Instinct sign transformation that we last seen. What was it? We didn't even get to see that in the Broly film, right? Like the last time we saw that was in the Tournament of Power against, was it Jiren? So it's been a long time since we've seen this form, but we finally get to see it in action against Moro. But there's a lot to be said about chapter 59 of Dragon Ball Super. Let's get into it.
I say we gonna do what we do, no matter how you move, make your move. That's how it be though.
So like I said, Goku versus Moro, the long-awaited battle has finally kicked off with this chapter of Dragon Ball Super. And while there's definitely a lot of action, I gotta continue to say this. I really wish that this was animated already. Like, in the manga, it's cool and all, but personally, as a Dragon Ball fan, I've always been more of a fan of the anime. I can only imagine what this would look like in the anime, opposed to just seeing it in the manga. I mean, it's cool in the manga, the sign transformation looks alright, everything looks fine, but I just would love to see this animated. With that being said, let's talk about one element of the chapter that I wasn't the biggest fan of. Let's talk about what was going on with the dialogue in this chapter. There was a few different points where I'm just like, okay, Captain Obvious, like Gohan and Piccolo like, hey, is that the Ultra Instinct sign transformation? Ah, yes, indeed it is. Then another dialogue moment where 18 was like, hey, does that mean that Goku has come back stronger than ever? It's like, fam, it felt a little bit corny. I don't know if it's just Viz's translations that is just kind of like, yo, it comes across as like, what the hell, like an old Batman, the old Batman TV show where it's like, gee willikers, Batman, they got us surrounded. Like, no shit, Robin. You know what I'm saying? Like, the dialogue just feels like very obvious. Like, yeah, that kind of seems to be the case. I don't know. Or even when Goku was telling Piccolo and Gohan, like, yo, y'all need to back up even further. Shit is getting real. I'm like, well, goddamn, these people, like I said in my last video, like, they really have been downgraded to, like, glorified spectators at this point. But another moment let's talk about is Vegeta. We get to see a little glimpse of Vegeta, which I'm surprised. I thought he was going to be completely excluded until he shows up in an ever so glorious arrival to Earth to kind of, like, either save the day to a certain degree or something. But we actually got a glimpse of him in the chapter. He's still on Yardrat, seemingly still training, and he just now caught on that Goku is there fighting Moro. To be honest with you, one of the things is the fact that, well, he's in Yardrat. Even if, let's just say, Vegeta does not learn, all you gotta do is tell one of the Yardratians, like, yo, come over here, take me to Earth real quick. So Vegeta can get there at any given point that he wants. So in essence, the longer Goku fights against Moro, the more that they can hold off Moro on Earth, the more Vegeta can learn, which, honestly, it really feels like when you see a chapter like this, the roles really have been reversed, where normally it's that Vegeta, or whoever the case may be, is like they're trying to thwart off the villain until Goku shows up, and that was the case up until like last chapter when Goku showed up. But when you see Vegeta still kind of training, it almost feels like Vegeta's the big dog, and I hate that. It's hard for me to say with confidence, like, yes, this means that Vegeta is going to be the big hero, but it does feel like that. It does feel like Vegeta is going to be the big savior, because we see in this chapter that it's not a clean cut like Goku is just kicking Moro's ass. Like, Moro is still pulling out tricks. He's still doing his thing. He hasn't completely taken any type of L yet. He hasn't gotten to absorb Goku's, you know, abilities yet, his ki or whatnot, but it's not like Moro's taken an L yet. So the fight is still going. So the longer it goes, the more Vegeta can train, but I'm just kind of curious how that's going to play. Like, eventually, are we just not going to see Vegeta for another 2 or 3 chapters, and then he's going to pop up? Because if not, kind of ruins a little bit of the suspense. Like, everybody, including myself, is like, man, I wonder what Vegeta is doing. Oh, he's still training. So I don't know. Seems like there's a big build up for Vegeta, but again, we could be disappointed, and it could turn out that, because there's still something in this chapter that is like, oh, well, there's still more to Goku that's waiting in the wings, which kind of makes me a little nervous that they're going to bring Vegeta in to look like the hero, only to take the L for Goku to rise up. Because that's really how I feel it's going to go. Like, at some given point, Goku is going to get outwitted or outmatched somehow, some way by Moro in this battle, because we see that the sign transformation clearly ain't enough. And Moro already figured out that one of the keys to beating Goku in this is he got to outlast that sign transformation. He already knew for a little bit now that Goku is on a timer with that, because that's not the true Ultra Instinct. Because him saying, oh wow, for such a low scumbag to be able to use such a divine technique is surprising. So that means Moro probably knows a good majority about this transformation, or about, at the very least, the god powers and shit like that. So he probably, since he already knew back in the, what was it, Jagambo fight, he knew that, oh, Goku's on a timer on that one. He just got to outlast him. So essentially, it's kind of like, think of like when they would go fusion, how they have like, they got 30 minutes to defeat the villain. Goku has X amount of time until he loses the sign transformation to be able to take out Moro. Because we get the big revelation in this chapter that Mirrors, as he's talking with Whis, and don't get me wrong, Whis is like giving props, like, damn, you got him to be able to use the sign transformation at will now. Before he had to snap and go nuts to do it or whatever. Now he's able to do it at will. But we find out that he is not able to tap into the true mastered silver-haired Ultra Instinct form. I think Mirror said he wasn't even able to do it once. So essentially, he's able to get to the gate, but he's not able to open the gate, so to speak. Like Ultra Instinct Sign, I look at it as kind of like he gets to the gate, he's holding on to the gate, but he can't pull the doors open, the gate open. So he has somewhat of the power, but he's not able to completely, and it's not a sustainable transformation. I mean, if we go back to the Tournament of Power, when Goku initially used it against Jiren, we've seen that it's very unstable, and it's also very draining, opposed to the true Ultra Instinct form, where it's kind of like, he's kicking ass, he's not struggling to maintain it and shit like that. The regular Ultra Instinct, or the sign transformation, is just, it's not perfected, and it's not, it's kind of like Kaioken in a sense, where you can only use it for short bursts. Which therein lies where I feel like, once again, it's leading to Vegeta being cheated out of a victory, because I feel as though, even if Goku, let's just say he's putting the works on Moro, again, Moro is using different magics, he tells Goku, like, you thought me absorbing energy is the only thing that I can do? Are you kidding me right now? So even if let's just say Goku is able to throw a little bit here and there, I don't think that he's going to be able to do it in a timely manner. I mean, when in Dragon Ball have they ever been able, like, you got 30 minutes for fusion, get it done? Like, you've never seen it in Dragon Ball. So I fully think that at some given point, Goku's either not going to be able to tap into the sign transformation anymore, or something. Vegeta's going to show up. He's going to give him the works a little bit of Moro, then something else is going to twist and turn. Maybe one of his lackeys is going to show up with a gun, and we're going to have a replay of Resurrection F, only this time Vegeta getting shot through the chest or something, and then Goku's going to go mastered Ultra Instinct and defeat Moro. That's how I see all of this playing out. With them leaving that he hasn't tapped into Ultra Instinct yet, it'll be a big shock for him to go into the true silver-haired Ultra Instinct against Moro, but it just depends on how things go. Because again, right now, it just seems like a desperate struggle for time. But overall, the chapter, it was pretty dope. A lot of action, a lot of action, to be honest with you, which, hey, it's Dragon Ball. You love you some action. The twists and turns regarding, like, okay, Goku can't truly go into Ultra Instinct. It's like, well, I guess it leaves open room for further developments and further shocks, because if Goku is able to go into Ultra Instinct and then that's defeated, then that means that Vegeta has to come with something even stronger than Ultra Instinct, or they gotta resort to fusion, which I don't think they want to continue to abuse fusion. We just did fusion in the arc before this, technically, the Broly movie, which the Broly movie, they did fusion, they keep doing fusion. It's like, what? That's how every villain is going to be defeated from now on? So kind of gotta leave that out there for a possibility, but even then, who knows if Ultra Instinct isn't able to take him down. I mean, Ultra Instinct Goku wasn't able to defeat Jiren technically in the Tournament of Power. It took like a whole gang jumping on top of Jiren in order to stop him. So it just kind of leaves things open of like, well, it could happen like this, which I guess is leaving it somewhat unpredictable, even though despite the fact that it still feels like classic Dragon Ball, like, I got the upper hand, no, I got the upper hand, no, this guy's gonna show up and have the upper hand. Like, seems as though it's going that route, but again, only time will tell. Curious what you guys think about this chapter of Dragon Ball Super, chapter 59. How do you feel? Do you feel as though Goku is disappointing right now with the Ultra Instinct sign transformation? The fact that Moro is able to discern what exactly is going on, the fact that Moro is still holding his own and he doesn't even need to use his magic draining technique on Goku. Do you think that Vegeta is going to be able to truly be the hero? I gotta keep asking that. Or do you think they're gonna cheat him out at the last second to make Goku come with the true Ultra Instinct after being enraged about something or figuring something out, and that's how it's all gonna play out? Or your overall thoughts? To be honest with you, it's kind of like, why doesn't Beerus just show up and take out Moro? I mean, I guess that's the easy answer for everything, right? And he doesn't like to really meddle into these type of affairs, but Moro's a threat to the entire universe, and this is Beerus's universe. Just saying. So, who knows? Maybe that could be the ending of it. Moro does all this shit, and eventually Beerus is like, you know what? This one time, Fuck it. I'm gonna take this dude out. Get over here. Come on. Take this Hakai like a man. Come on. And your overall thoughts and expectations for the Dragon Ball Super manga with chapter 60 and beyond. I hope this fight gets a little bit more intense moving forward, a little bit more unpredictable, because right now it's like, okay, Goku seemingly can have the upper hand as long as he's in the Saiyan transformation, but he has to do it in a timely manner, and Dragon Ball fights never end in the way that they hope to have things play out when they train. That's all I have for this one, though. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. If you liked anything I had to say or enjoyed the video, drop me a like. I'd greatly appreciate it. And if you want more from me, make sure to subscribe. Follow me on Twitter, Instagram. Hit that bell to get all notifications. And if you want to follow any of my other social media, links in the description below. I'm ForneverWorld, and as always, people, have an awesome day. And remember the golden rule. Anime and manga for life, boy. Have an awesome day. Peace in.
Everything good always comes to an end. If you stab me in my back, we can never make amends. Trying to move to acceptance, hard to accept it. Mistakes like mirrors, gotta reflect it. I don't wanna fucking leave, but I gotta leave. Leave the maybes to the crazies. Maybe one day there I go admitting something in a subtle way. No more copies, leave without a trace.